Alright, welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we've got a pretty fun project. We're going to be milling aluminum, and we're going to be engraving our brand and logo on a little stamp that we can then heat up to basically leather burn a little patch that will then go on a hat. So it should be a pretty fun project. Stick around, and we'll get into some pretty good footage of the machine, as well as a little bit of the software here, and yeah, at the end we'll show you the hat and the end results. It should look pretty good. Okay, so this project is pretty fun because I have not actually drawn up any CAD files for this. I haven't gone to that extent. It's actually a lot easier than that. If you have a JPEG file or a PNG, whatever you've got of a logo or of a text, it's Carvera makes it pretty easy in their software to take that and basically make a kind of like a CAD 3D model out of it. So what I've done is I've got here in the Carvera CAM software, I've gone ahead and I've basically just drawn a box. There's some tools up here in the create. You can create circles and boxes, pretty basic stuff. But then I've gone ahead and dimensioned that, and then I've uploaded a JPEG file, and you can go in and you can trace. You can hit this trace feature, and it'll allow you to, if you're selected on a image there, and it'll trace around your text or your logo or whatever. And then I've sized it, scaled things and centered it all to where it looks pretty good. And then I've gone ahead and placed it, and then I've done all my CAM work over here with the different tool paths and whatnot. Today I'm going to be using 4 different bits. So I've got some chamfer bits, just a regular old single flute end mill, and then an engraving bit, hopefully to kind of clean up some of this text that's kind of fine details and things like that. So I've gone ahead and done that, uploaded it here into the machine, and then I like just running it on its own dedicated system there. So oh, and then one other thing that I've done new is I 3D printed a fan. I saw this on printables, and a lot of people were raving about it, so I thought I'd give it a try on this project. It's been kind of annoying I haven't set it up quite yet to have a good air system, so I've been kind of just manually back here with an air hose, but I'm hoping this is a little bit better. It'd eliminate having to run the air compressor, which is always a plus. But that's definitely a project for future, where I want to hook up the dust extraction with the vacuum and things like that. So, but let's go ahead and get this project started. We'll go ahead and start the machine run. Okay, so I've got kind of a useful tip for you guys. Currently I've got a few projects that I've already cut out of this sheet. So I want to place, and this piece that I'm going to be milling out right now is kind of large, and so I really have to nail it just right here in this open space. So what I found out that you can do is before every job it shoots the laser and it traces. You can do a scan margin is what it's called, and it'll basically like trace the perimeter of where the part will be. I've noticed that that's where the actual part will be, not necessarily the outer limit of your tool. So keep that in mind. Like if the laser is right up against your clamp right there, there's a chance that your tool might, protrude past that. So just keep that in mind. But to help me get things lined up, you can hit this over arrow to the manual controls, and then there's a button that says margin scan. Well, I don't know. It says margin ... but I believe it's margin scan. Hit that. And it basically allows you to just trace this job without actually running the job, if that makes any sense. So what I'll do is yeah, that's already set up. So then I just click that button. It's asking me for the probe. I already have that installed, and it's going to go ahead and trace that part out just to help me line it up in my fixturing. Right now this is pretty simple, but if you had like a vise or something like that, I could see where it would be useful to do this before you actually run the actual job. Like before, I was just doing this, and then I'd have to hit the stop button, which is kind of annoying. So this is a lot better to just be able to do it this way, and then I can up front. Yeah, so that looks pretty good. I've got some clearance on both sides of that, so I feel pretty good about that. And then, yeah, just exits out of that, so that is pretty useful. Okay, so I've started the job, and it's working away on the the flat end mill. And I've already noticed I've put that fan on there, and it kind of, I don't know, it's not like a super directed air blast. It's more of just kind of stirs the air around, kind of like a tornado or something like that. So while it does clear the chips, I don't know, I might look into kind of redesigning it and see if I can do something where it kind of focuses the air more in one direction. But that's a future project. Okay, so we are 3/4 of the way done, and it's looking pretty good. It's, if you can kind of see that, it's got most of the pockets done, and it's just doing the outer contour. Here in a minute, we're going to do a little chamfer, and then it'll cut the rest of the way out. So anyway, it's coming along. Okay, yeah, we're just here heating this little CNC milled label, the logo. And once it's hot enough, we're gonna go ahead and press this onto the leather patch and see what we can get. We might need a little more heat than this, I don't know. Okay, so I got a bunch of these stamped out. You can see the stamp did start to kind of accumulate a little bit of the leather stuff. This is not actual real leather. It's just, I think they call it like leatherette. Just some cheap patches. But if I was using real leather, it would have worked a lot better. But I chose to use this cheap, and it's got the glue double side, glue on the backside. So use that. Anyway, I got a bunch done. This was my first one. Turned out horribly. I burnt through it almost. It stuck really bad to the stamp. Anyway, had to clean that up. That was like literally in like a matter of like 5 seconds I did that. So way too long. It really is like a pretty quick process. So it turned out though. I mean, like, this is one that after I'd done it a couple times, you can see, and I'll throw some other footage up to hopefully show a little bit better. But I got some that I'm totally okay with, and I kind of like. I think it turned out really good. Especially, I mean, you could do way better with like a laser, but that's not what I was going for. I was trying to do this with, if you didn't have a laser machine and you just had access to a CNC machine, this is a pretty, it's a doable project. You can definitely do that. And once you get, understand the temperatures and how long to hold it there for, it works really good. So, okay, so I went ahead and got a little bit better angle on the camera here. I'm going to do this patch. I think it turned out the best. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that on like that. And I've got some tape really quick. Just some simple painter's tape to go ahead and tape that into position. It's, I'll need about that much. I'm going to go ahead and tape it about like that. And then, I'm no pro hat maker, so if you're looking for a video to show you how to do hats in bulk, I'd maybe watch a different video. But if you're in an experiment, this works great. And I'm going to show like a super easy just simple way to do this. So I'm gonna go with that. It's just held on there pretty simply, and I'm gonna go ahead and, instead of if you have like one of those presses, you can it's got like a curved thing to put it on, but I don't have that. So what I did, so I just got a towel or a blanket, and you can just kind of roll it up, give it a little bit of shape to it, and I'm just gonna go ahead and stuff it on like that. Yeah, about like that. And yeah, I like that. That looks pretty good. To just give it some backing, to when I press that, it won't like deform the hat. I just got like a little washcloth here, just to kind of protect the leather so it doesn't burn. That's what happened to a bunch of these, where it just got too hot. It actually even started to adhere the glue to my barbecue grill. So yeah, we're not good with that. So yeah, we're gonna hurry in. And I've been preheating this on my iron. I did it about halfway. Not exactly sure. The specs on the listing where I bought these was like, I think it said like 150 degrees. So I'm like winging it. This is just an experiment. So I'm gonna go ahead with like halfway. It said for about 20 seconds. So I'm just gonna kind of keep steady heat on it. And just kind of keep going back and forth like that, and hope that works. Maybe a little bit slower. I'm gonna take a look at that really quick. Not sure. Yeah, okay, that's not. Yeah, so that's not really doing anything. I'm gonna kick the heat up just a little bit. And go ahead and keep. This obviously would go much faster if you knew what you're doing, so I'm just kind of toying around with this right now, but we'll get it figured out. Okay, let's see what this is. Ooh, now that's really wrinkled. But hey, it looks like it might have stuck. Let's see here. Don't pull it off. Don't pull it off. Oh yeah, I think we got it. Pulling off a little of the charcoal. Okay. Okay, other than the wrinkly hat. Okay, I think it's there. We got it on. So I'm gonna figure out how to get the wrinkles out now, if I can at all. And hey, we're good. We got it. All right, you guys, thanks for sticking around on this video. We had a ton of fun building this CNC stamp for the burning these leather patches. So I was able to kind of get a little bit of these wrinkles out of the hat after doing that, and it turned out pretty good. I mean, there's still a little bit, but I can keep working on that a little bit more. I think it turned out really good. I think it's going to be a really good hat. Fits me great. I'm able to do custom whatever hats that I want to do now. If you guys obviously just want a one-off and you have access to a CNC machine, I think this is a great option. The fine text is a little bit challenging, but not bad. Totally doable with the right bits. But anyway, go ahead and like this video if you did. I'd appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel. It helps the channel grow and helps you get notified when we do more cool projects like this. And let me know in the comments if you do want another video diving into maybe refining some of my approach here, especially whether you've got more suggestions on how to do these leather patches. But anyway, I think I'll call it there, and have a good one.